The Audi S3 is one of a small band of super hot hatchbacks. 250 brake horsepower is the entry criterion, the sort of power a Porsche 911 offered just 15 years ago. Maybe a touch excessive? Well, Audi, BMW, Mazda and Volkswagen don't agree, and the Astra VXR is tantalisingly close. But the Audi S3 tops the lot with its 261 brake horsepower turbo engine, 6-speed gearbox and quattro four-wheel drive. It has the subtle good looks we've come to expect from a quick Audi, but there's also something missing from the picture. Buy the bigger S4 and you get a stonking 4.2 litre V8. Bigger still, the S6, almost unbelievably, comes with a V10. But the S3 makes do with a reworked version of the Golf GTI's 2 litre 4-cylinder engine when, by rights, it ought to have a more prestigious V6. However, the end result is a surging power delivery that translates to a 0 to 60 mph time of an impressive 5.7 seconds. With drive going through all four wheels, there's none of the unruly behaviour you get from a front-wheel drive rival that scrabbles to put its power down. It even deals with the S3's turbo lag, which results in a sudden rush of power at 2,500 revs. But somehow the S3 still fails to get your juices going in the way it should. The S3 rides better than the BMW 130i, but it's far from perfect, losing its composure on the bumps and lumps that are such a common feature of British roads. You might forgive it if the steering returned incisive feel, but despite its accuracy, you just don't get the feedback you ache for in a car with this level of performance. The chassis may be numb, but it feels very sure-footed, with neutral handling and finally understeer once you reach the S3's very high limits. The 6-speed gearbox is precise in quick shifting and the brakes fill you with confidence. And there's always the beautiful interior to enjoy. The S3 is undeniably a nice place to travel. The seats hold you firmly, the controls all work beautifully, and everything from the design of the instruments to the way the dash lights up at night just feels so right. The S3 is not quite as spacious as you might expect. The rear seats aren't much used for adults, and the boot struggles to swallow even one set of golf clubs. With its range-topping £27,000 status, you'd think sat-nav would be standard, but that's another couple of grand if you want the full colour option. You do, though, get some rather impressive xenon headlamps. So you'll gather that the S3 doesn't tick all of our boxes. It is an enormously capable super hatch that's both beautifully built and fabulous to look at. But cars like the BMW 130 and Volkswagen's R32 Golf show there are more engaging ways to spend your money. On to the good points. There are those subtle good looks. The interior is beautifully made and it's got real pace on the road. On the negative side, well, the engine just isn't exotic enough for an S Audi. The boot is small and the ride is sometimes jarring.